this podcast. We have BoostGod in the building.
The BoostGod. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
That doesn't feel crazy, calling you that?
I'm used to it now, but no, it doesn't feel crazy. I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Have you been to Arizona before?
Only the airport.
Oh,
I spazzed out in the Phoenix airport a few years ago, and that was it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember I was late for a flight, and I dropped my phone going through check-in, and I smashed my phone, and then I missed my flight. And I was like, I hate Arizona. But this time it's all been good. It's been fine. Yeah.
So SneakerCon Phoenix turnout.
It's lit.
Turnout?
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, but when we got here, everybody was saying that this was going to be smaller than Florida.
Right.
And this is definitely not smaller than Florida.
Well, that's good to hear, because I thought this was going to be, because
no way.
From the turnout, I was like, this might be the smallest one.
No way. Not from the amount of people you see walking around.
That's good.
So Fort Lauderdale is what you're talking about?
Yeah, the Fort Lauderdale. And not that one was slow, but there's a lot of people here.
Oh, I know, because we're pretty much in the mindset that how this turns out, they'll come back.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't think you have any problems. I mean, I think there's less vendors here,
Yes.
so you're going to have to tell the people in Arizona that live here to quit sleeping on their own
Show
town,
up.
in their own city, in their own hustle. But, I mean, there's plenty of people here ready to buy. If you had a table full of Ultra Boost right now, you sell out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think this is popping.
So how to get started?
A breakup.
A breakup?
Yeah, so I went through a breakup that was like pretty gnarly, and then I bought shoes. When I met her before that, I was buying shoes, but I kind of just stopped. I got all my stuff stolen, like every belonging I had was stolen like 5 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And then we were just dating, and it's kind of like having to deal with the burden of having a girlfriend that wasn't directionally in tune, you know? So like I was always having to deal with her. And then once we broke up, I went to LA just on a trip. I tried on a pair of NMDs. I went back in the store and bought another pair of NMDs. And then the first month I spent like $10,000 on shoes because it was my birthday month. And I was just like, I just went in. And then after that, I'd been talking about doing something on YouTube for a long time, but didn't really know what, like with tattooing and traveling, and I make music. And then with the shoe thing, it just clicked. Like I was looking one night because I was just getting into it, so I was like looking for stuff when things would come out. Like, oh, well, this is coming out. I wonder if anybody's talking about it. And there was nobody. And I was like, well, this is a lane right here. And I just went in, and I just kept doing. I turned the camera on and just never turned it off, and my personality shined through, I guess. So it just pops.
So I guess I might be behind, but I think the last vlog of yours I saw, you had called your mom. You were getting ready to pack up your apartment.
You're like 2 weeks behind.
I'm 2 weeks behind?
Yeah.
I'm missing out on it.
How long ago was? Yeah, when I called her and I was leaving.
And you were leaving. You're packing
up. Yeah, I've been on the road
now
for almost 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
How's that going?
Insane.
Insane?
It's insane.
It feels good to just be free, huh?
It does feel really good.
So do you have time to do tattooing and all that anymore?
I've kind of like put a stop to it. So I stopped taking appointments in Colorado. I have a few people that I have to finish up stuff on, like that I've started big work on. And then I'm not taking any more appointments. And then I think what I'm going to do is set up an email or a website so that in the future, like no matter where you live, you can just fill out a form, your idea, what you want, your location, your budget. And if it's something that I want to do, I will fly to you and I will do it. Like I'll just come do the tattoo. But as far as like sitting in the shop and having people come in and kind of be like, well, I want this and I want that, like I'm over it. Like I'm over, tattooing's changed a lot over the past 10 years. And the client base now they don't really belong, in my opinion. I know that sounds weird, but they're just getting tattooed to fit in, and I don't want to be a copy machine.
Well, that's the problem. It's like people don't understand, like, you're a tattoo artist.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're an artist.
Right.
And that's why, I did a half sleeve, and to me, I would go to my guy and be like, listen, like, this is an idea what I want, run with it.
Exactly.
And I mean, most of he freehanded probably 35% of my stuff, and I was just like, I trust you. Like,
lead me in the right direction, what you want, but give me free reign. And nowadays, it's just a lot of people that wouldn't have gotten tattooed 10 or 15 years ago, and now they're coming in and they're getting tattooed, thinking they're being original, but they're just getting stuff off Pinterest or they're getting stuff off Google, and it's like, I know that. And then once they've seen something, they're married to it, and you can't show them anything different. And I'm trying to make my work as limited as a Zebra Easy. Like, I don't want everybody to be able to get tattooed by me anymore, So, and I've been blessed in the fact that YouTube is making me money, and people love my merch and it's making me money. So, and now I'm building a full-blown fashion brand. You know, like in the next 5 years, I'll have a store on Madison Avenue. Like dead ass, that's gonna happen. Yeah. So
see, we starting out, we've been going on for about a year.
Okay.
And followers are crazy, listeners are crazy, and as soon as we got here, a guy in Nebraska. Hey, Sneak This Podcast, if you don't mind, could you give me a BoostGod shirt and an extra large?
That's awesome. Yeah,
that's why I went over there and got it for him.
That's
and,
awesome.
These are out-of-state listeners, so we wanted to make sure we hooked him up.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's dope that people are like, willing to buy your merchandise.
Yeah, and they're buying me, and I understand that. Like it's something like it's not just the shoes, and it's not just the shirts. It's a lifestyle, and I think that I represent. Like when you look at me, I don't look like a successful person. It's like. I'm representative that you can kind of do your own thing and still make it,
Well, in this era, you look like
a successful person.
Yeah. Because like you were talking about the tattoos.
Yeah.
I was just telling my wife, I remember growing up, guy in tattoos across the street.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I got him, to be intimidating. I was sick of fighting.
Your tattoos are on everybody. Like
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's the geekiest guy to the coolest guy.
Yeah, it's definitely went mainstream,
So, and that's a dope situation. But like you're saying, you got on Adidas and stuff like that. Typically, in this culture, that looks a success.
Yeah, and tattooers were the original influencers. Like when you would come into town, you go and you have a couple of drinks, you get tattooed, you'd ask the tattoo artist would lead you to like what's cool, would tell you where the best club was, the restaurant, and like that's the thing, like it stopped. And because tattooing got flooded, and everybody who's just starting out was like, I'll tattoo you for cheaper, I'll tattoo you. It became more of like who will do it for the cheapest and not an experience, and I'm just trying to save my love of tattooing by not ruining it.
Absolutely.
So is there any? Actually, no. I was going to know this. Did you ever wear any other brand like Jordan?
Oh yeah. I was heavy into. When I was a kid, my dad said no to every Jordan. Finally got a pair like for Christmas. You know what I mean? And then so I was heavy into Jordans until about like the Jordan 7, and then I think infrared 7s were the last ones that I got when they came out. And then Reebok Punk came out. I don't know if my timeline's right, but Reebok Punk came out, and then it was Reebok Punk because it was just the new, like, if you remember when that, you go into the store and the displays and all that, and the black top, it was like, okay, this is sick. And then Shaq came up, and that was everything. And then when I was 13, I started skateboarding, so it was all skate shoes. But then Nike SB popped, so I had every Nike SB that you can imagine, I had everything, and then that's when sneaker culture really changed. I remember going, because I got every Nike SB, my homie would just call me, like, we just got in these shoes that they're calling them the Heinekens, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take them, and like skating in them or whatever, and then it got to be, I'd show up, there was lines, or I'd show them, like, we don't have your size. And then I remember I went, the Maneki Neko drop that they did the black mid and the gold low top. I was the second person in line, and they didn't have a 13, and I was like, yo, screw this, you know what I mean? And then Nike 6.0 came out. I hated it. I was like, all right, I'm done. And then I just stopped buying shoes. Like, I just left the sneaker world. I was on Nike Talk, and, you can ask any of my old friends. I lived in North Carolina. I would catch flights to New York City on the weekends just to cop and come home. I would cop Nike Air 180 was my favorite shoe. They discontinued it.
Those are still my favorite.
Yeah, and I want to put one on now to see if I even care, but like that was it. Like Nike just kind of screwed it up for me. I was like, all right, y'all are going to stop making my favorite stuff and you're going to bootleg the stuff that I do like. So
do you even think you could even put on a Nike now? Or
I put one on, really? I can put it on. Yeah,
I kind of feel like
I'll get roasted.
I'll
get roasted for sure, but I'm not afraid to put it on.
So being a skate guy, because one of my grails, and like anytime I say this, nobody knows what I'm talking about, is the S Costin 1.
Oh yeah.
The S Costin 1 and 2 are two of like my favorite
like
shoes.
Like the gum on gum.
The gum on gum, the navy gum, the white gum.
Yeah, and no one cared about
them. No one cares about them.
Yeah.
But that is like, if I could find some S Costin 1s that were wearable.
Or even like some Sal Barbiers, like some old.
So like the culture. It's a wave.
It is a wave.
It's a wave.
Is Adidas going anywhere?
Nowhere. I compare it to, and everyone always kind of talks crazy. They're like, man, Adidas is overdoing Boost. And my response is, when we got rubber tires, people weren't like, oh, you're overdoing it. You got to stick to a wagon wheel here and there.
Right.
You know, it's like that sole changes everything.
It really does.
I
I just picked up a pair of triple black Ultra Boost.
Yeah. Why would you not continue to, like, that innovation right there? That honestly doesn't not only save Adidas, it saves sneaker culture.
It's the most comfortable shoe I've ever had.
8 months ago, I don't feel like, before I started my vlog and all that, I'm not saying because of me, but I feel like it was kind of just in a huge lull. Like, people are buying stuff and, like, they're reselling stuff here and there, but everyone's just kind of jaded, you know, and Boost just completely
It was definitely a lull. And the best thing right now, because we talked on, I don't know what episode it was, on our episodes, and we equated Boost to being like Nike Air.
Yeah.
When Air came out, it was like, what is this?
Changed it, yeah.
And now it's almost like, you'd be hard pressed to buy a Nike without Air.
Yeah.
If I can buy, but the best thing about Adidas right now is that the designs are really good to match.
Yes.
There are some that like the EQT pack where they had the Boost, the new ones.
Yeah, 9317.
Even the model without the Boost, I would buy that.
Yeah, they're fire.
Because the Boost is obviously preferred, but I'm loving the designs. And they're easy to wear with how we dress now. We feel like Nike, when they started retroing stuff, it didn't retro with our clothes.
Yeah, they just kept it.
Our clothes got smaller.
And the shoes were still big.
Yeah, and then a lot of people are afraid, you know, a lot of the OG Nike dudes can't, like a lot of my friends who wear Air Max even are like, yeah, I'll get Boost, but I'm not putting on them jeans. I'm not putting on those joggers. I'm like, dog, let go of what you think you know about fashion. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are just afraid to grow when it comes to that, you know?
Our other member of our show, he's the same way.
Yeah.
He would not conform to joggers. Now he wears joggers.
Now he wears joggers.
Now he's comfortable.
Yeah.
He's like,
jeans are slimmer.
He's a little jealous of you because you got more boost than him.
Nice.
He calls himself the Boost Snob.
That's his Twitter.
Nice. I know who that is. Yeah.
He definitely, watches all your stuff and talks about you all the time.
And Nike Air, they have a chance. I will say, like, I've thought about it. They have a chance to come back.
They do.
But it's going to be in, like, I don't know what year. I'm going to say, like, 2057. When it puts you in the air and flies you over. Like, that's what they're going to have to do. Like, and then by that time, Boost might bounce you around 80 feet in the air. You know what I mean? But that's kind of the only way I see it happening from this point.
So what was the one for you that was the hardest to get your hands on?
Probably
because I've seen your Miami and ASU.
The Miami was the hardest one, only because of the story. None of them are hard because I'll throw money at it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, not that I'm rich, but money to me is not really. It's kind of illusionary in a point. Like, I don't like to like worship it. You know, I'm like, look, it's just money. Like, I'll make more of it. It just motivates me to make more money.
Absolutely.
You know, so. But probably the story of the UMs is probably the weirdest one because I bought them from a kid on eBay for $500, and I was like, buy now, $500. He mailed them out. Then he called me right afterwards and was like, he's like, can you sell them back to me? And I was like, no, man, like, I want them. What, are you crazy? And what happened was he realized what he had finally.
Yes.
And then the package is supposed to get delivered. I'm tracking it. And then it says return to sender per request. And I was like, yo, what? And so I get on the phone immediately. I find out that he like had it sent back after I told him no.
I didn't even know you could do that.
I didn't either. But with priority packages, you can. Apparently.
Wow. So you can recall a package back?
You can intercept it if it's priority,
Wow.
Yep. And so he intercepted it. It was on the way back to him. I called him on some Godfather shit. I was like, I'm going to locked his PayPal account up real quick because I was just like, yo, you're crazy. So locked him up, and then I'm so crazy I got back on the internet and I found another pair for a 12 and a half for $450. Bought those too. I was like, whatever, I'm buying these now. Bought those. Threatened that kid so much, had his PayPal locked up, he sent me back the 13s.
Yeah.
So I had two pairs of them. He screwed up when he did the PayPal thing because he tried to give me a refund for it. Like, he tried to be sly.
Yeah.
But he didn't refund it. He just gifted me $500. So I had him over a barrel. I was like, yo, I have your money and your shoes now.
And your PayPal's locked.
Yeah, and your PayPal's locked. He's like, I'm going to send you the money back because I'm a good dude.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I don't want the money. I want the shoes. And I was like, here's the only option I'm going to give you. I was like, I'll send you I bought a 12 and a half yesterday. I'll send those to you right now, and we're clear. But I'm keeping the 13s because that's my true size. And that's what we did. I sent him the 12 and a half. But still, once every month, he still hits me up and asks me to sell him back the 13s. Yeah, I'm like, yo, I wear them all the time. You don't want them. But
do you have the ASU pair too?
Yeah, I have both. Yeah, I bought those cheap too.
So those, like, they hit oneness one day.
Oh, really?
No. Extra butter.
Extra butter. They hit extra butter one
So
day.
they actually have them.
Yeah, they had them in the. That's the only store that got them was extra butter.
In the
Whole world.
Why would extra butter in
I
New
don't
York
know what
get
I have no
ASC
idea.
Ultra Boost?
That's where mine came from.
Really?
Yeah, I had the second guy in line, and he got them, and I paid him $500 for them. And at the time, that was at the time, an Ultra Boost selling for $500 was everyone thought I was.
Well, they're like
crazy.
$1,700 now, 17 to 2.
Yeah.
My homie has a pair that the dog ripped the back tab off of, and someone offered him $900.
Oh my.
It's missing. That's like a dog has chewed this off, and there's this foam hanging out.
And see, we in Arizona,
Yeah, you can't even
Arizona
get 'em.
State graduates, and I want a pair.
Yeah.
Like I'm dying for a pair.
It's a fire pair.
And
for
like
sure.
we take pride in like the college we graduated.
Yeah.
So like I'll never rock any other pair of like Miami, something
Right,
like that.
right.
I need my Arizona pair.
Yeah, that's where being a dropout helps.
But
No loyalty.
But last question, and it's about one thing we talk about is like the shape of the culture and things that we know to social media. And we noticed that BoostGod followers will go in for
I got shooters in these streets. You know
You
what I'm saying?
got some
actually have
passionate followers.
Yeah.
How does that?
I think it's it's hard for me to talk about because I feel like I'm being cocky, but I think it's my personality, and I think these dudes know that I'm real. I'm not like sugarcoating anything. I'm not being fake. Someone comes at my neck. They're like, "Yo, what are you doing? Like, why are you gonna come at this? Like, he's not doing anything that's not thorough. Why are you trying to act like he is? You know?"
Right.
And they just ride with it. You know, I think that's it.
And I'll be honest with you, walking over to you, you were so cool. Like anytime, and you just never know what you're gonna expect.
Right,
to get
yeah,
from
and I
people.
think that's the thing too. Like, there's an opposition because you do not that I'm speaking about anyone specific, but
you can if
they
you
go
want.
they go up to somebody and they got some dismissive or like whatever, and I'm only here for this. Like, I started this because I wanted to, one, feel like I was understood by people,
Right.
and two, be able to connect to people, and that's it. Like,
Absolutely.
So why would I? And when people are like, "Can I take a picture?" I'm like, "That's what I'm here for."
Yeah.
Like, I'm here to take pictures with you and talk to you and get you vibed out on what I'm vibed out on.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
And that's why we started our podcast.
That's
the
We're
way
just
it should
regular cats. We go to our
Yeah.
9 to 5 and we talk sneakers every Wednesday
That's the way it should be.
and post it on iTunes and everything. So, but no, we definitely appreciate you putting it up for
Appreciate
us.
it.
Yeah, thanks for
BoostGod.
Sitting with us, and I know you got people waiting for you.
Yeah.
But thank you very much, man.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
That's
Yeah.
BoostGod.
Hey.
Thank you guys.